Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Kai and you're watching Code with Kai, and today's topic is very simple. We are going to create a star rating component and we'll see that in action. So let's just gather the information around star rating component. So I have Excalibur here, and this is a star rating component that I picked from one of the Google image. So this is a filled state of the star rating component. This is a filled state, and this here is the unfilled state. Unfilled state, right? And this individual component is a star component. We can think in terms of component. So this is a star component. This is another star component, another star component, another star component, and another star component. In that star component, we have two states: filled state and unfilled state. Okay, and this entirely make a star rating component. So this component we can call as a star rating component. So this is a star rating component. This individual is a star component. Okay, and the star rating has a value at a global scale, that is count variable. We can create as a count. So this will tell us how many stars do we actually have. Okay, and the count, we can have a count as 5. So this will give us the 5 star, and we can have a value state as well, which will tell us how many of them are filled. So if we give value as 3, so 3 of them are filled, and if we give value as 5, 5 of them are filled. But we do not want to, we also want to clamp the value to the maximum value of the count. So the value cannot be 6 if the count is 5. So we have to take care of that as well. And so that is the requirement of the star rating component. So let's just go back to the code part of this and see how we can create this up. So already have created a code sandbox environment. In the code sandbox environment, I only have 2 files, that is app.tsx and style.css. Okay, and one more file that I've added is the star.svg. And if you are interviewing for, and if you get this question in an interview, just make sure that you have the star.svg. Otherwise, it's going to be very complex to implement. So that being said, we can render out the star SVG. It looks something like this. We can zoom this a bit by giving with us 100. Yeah, so this is a star that it has been rendered by the SVG and using the image. But since we have an SVG, we can take advantage of React JSX, because React is also able to render out SVG, and this is where the hack come in picture. So for that, I'm just going to create a components folder. And inside the components folder, I'm going to create star rating.tsx. Okay, star rating as a folder first, and then I'm going to create star.tsx. Yeah, something wrong with this. Let me reload this up. Again, we have to create components. We have to create star rating as folder, and inside that we are going to create star.tsx. Inside here, we're going to create star rating.tsx. Okay, and inside the star component, we are going to copy paste this SVG inside the JSX. So function star, and we're going to return this particular JSX that we copied. We're going to export default star. So this will give out the star. Okay, and for the star rating, we want to copy paste this stuff. Let's just make this a star rating, and let's give it rating. And in the return value, we are going to say, for now, just print out hello. Let's go back to the app.tsx, try to render out the star that we imported. So this is the star that we imported, and this is the image right here. Okay, so the benefit of creating a component is we can manipulate the variable, manipulate the props, and we can actually manipulate the fill state, the stroke of this particular star. For this, what I'm going to create is, let's just create an interface star props. And since we are actually having SVG inside this, we can actually extend react.svg props, and here we can give SVG element. Okay, so this is what we are going to extend, and here we're going to have fill color as a new prop. Fill color can be anything. This can be a string, and we also going to have stroke color. So this is also going to be a string. So fill color, we're going to pass in the path, that is as fill color, and stroke also as stroke color. You also have to destruct this particular props, fill color, and from the star props, fill color and stroke color from star props. So this is getting printed now, and we can give initial value of fill color as red. Let's give it black. and the stroke color as well as black. So we can change the fill color as white or yellow, let's suppose. Okay, so this is getting applied right here. So we can make this as optional actually, because since we gave default values down here, we can make everything optional. Okay, the last thing is we want to destruct the props to handle the events. So we do not want to create all the events as a props because we already have them in SVG. So we can directly destruct the props and we can use them in the star rating. So the star component is created. This is what it looks like. And in here we can give as stroke color, and this can become let's just say red, or we can give as fill color as green. So this is working fine as expected. We can remove the image part of this. Next thing is to integrate this in the star rating component. The star rating component is going to take two things that I already discussed. One is the count and one is the value. And this can be passed from SVG star rating props. This is going to be an interface again. Interface star rating props. We're going to have two things. Count is going to be a number and value is also going to be a number. Okay, and here we can render this out using array of count dot fill. We're going to fill till 0, and then you're going to map the component as star. Okay, and this is also going to have the same properties as the fill color and stroke color to globally manipulate these values, fill color and stroke color. We're going to pass this as it is down. So fill color, stroke color, right here. Okay, then we go back to the app.tsx and we import the star rating, and then we try to use the star rating component. Okay, and by default the star rating count, the count should be 5 and the value should be 0, right? We want to have some default value of this. This is working fine. Let's just go back. We are getting 5 stars, and we can actually control the fill color from this particular prop. Fill color as red, and stroke also we can control, but leave it for now. So that being said, the basic structure of the star component is being created. The next point is we want to have the states of it. So if you go to amazon.com and see the star rating component in action, we can see that there is a hover state. If we hover on the particular star rating component, and the fill is getting applied. If we are on the 5th star, the fill is applied from 0 to 4, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. And if you click on any of the star, let's just say this is star number 4, and if you click on star number 4, then the fill is getting applied till the 4th point. Okay, and the state is being stored, and now we can only fill the 5th star, or we have option to clear the star. But if we hover on the 2nd star, 1st star, we are not seeing the hover effect anymore for those stuff. We can clear this out, and let me show you. If I click on this 1st star, now I can fill to 2nd star, 3rd star, 4th star, and 5th star. This is fine. So we want to create a similar feature in our component as well. So first thing is to have the hover fill count state. Okay, so the reason why I have to do it using hover fill count, not the is hover effect, is because I also want till how many stars this particular fill is applied, right? So for that I want to have a state hover fill count, set hover fill count, and it's going to be use state, and it's going to be 0. So the star component itself has props taken from the SVG itself. So we can use props like use mouse on mouse enter, and here we can say const handle mouse enter. And it's going to take an event, and it's going to take an index. Okay, so here we can say that we have event, and we should write complete name, and here we can say handle enter. We're going to pass event and the index of this particular rating. So the event can be the event value is declared but never used, and for the IDX the value is actually going to be a number. Okay, count, and this is going to be underscore comma IDX. Let's just see if we can remove this up. Yeah, cannot. This is fine. So let's just console log the event. We're able to print the event out at least. is not the console log. This is where the console is. Yeah. So let us remove this out. Yeah. So it is able. We are able to log some event. And we want to create two more events actually. On mouse leave, we have to perform an action, and on click, we have to perform an action. Handle mouse handle click. Or we can make this as a function meaningful. Handle star hover. Handle star hover leave. This is a hover event. This is a hover leave event. And we can copy and paste it for handle star click. When you click on a star, this event is getting fired. Implicit type of any. And we do not want the implicit type of any because the event itself has this particular type. You can just copy paste that type for now. Okay. For some reason I'm not able to copy this out. Yeah, copying is working. So this is the type of the event. Okay, looking pretty ugly to be honest. So I can create a type out of this. Let's just call event type, and can create an event type right here. Event type, and event type. Yeah, looks clean. Okay. So fill count, set over fill count. When we hover on it, we want to set the. So the next thing that we want to do is set the fill hover count. We'll just do set fill hover count as idx, and set the fill hover count for this as idx as 0. Okay. So when we leave the hover effect, when we leave the mouse hover, we want to set the count as 0. We do not actually require idx in this particular case. We can remove idx from this point. And this is the event. We also don't require any event. This we can remove the event. When you leave the hover, it gets back to 0. Otherwise, it is there. So in the fill colors prop, we can say it is dependent upon the fill count. If its our fill count is greater than idx, then we perform the fill color, or we give it as nothing. Okay. If it is working, it is only getting filled till the 4th point, and this is because of the index issues. I just gave the index right here. Yeah. Now it is working fine, but the state of this is not getting saved because we never created a state. Let's create a state that fill count or set fill count as use state as 0. Okay, and when we click on a star, we are going to set the count as idx. So let me see if this is right. If the fill count is greater than idx, or fill hover count is greater than idx. Now if we click on this, it's getting applied, getting a fill state, and we're getting the count as well. Okay, we actually don't require any event right here, so we can remove this up, and this is we only require idx for this particular usage. We can remove the event type as well. So this looks something like this, and remove the event. Yeah, don't require any event on this as well. Yeah, so this is looking clean to be honest. At this point, this is the star rating component that we have created. And then next we can actually handle the value. Let's just give the value as inside a use effect. If the value changes, we want to set fill count as whatever the value is being applied. Okay. Before that, we want to clamp the value. And this can be math.min, and we want to have it as a maximum for count, and math.math. We can give 0, and here we can give the value. Okay, so we're going to set fill count as clamp value. We're going to clamp the value. Let's go back and see if this works. Value as 5, that is a 5-star fill. 3, we're able to fill it. 0, nothing is getting filled. 1, we're filling this up. Okay, and let's just give count as 10 star. We can give 9 in the count, it is filling up. 11 should not work because it is going to clamp till the 10th. So this is how I would create a star rating component if I was given a task, purely using TypeScript and JS. And I've not touched the CSS. In fact, we did not require any CSS because we are using the SVG styles for this. You can create CSS for your use case. maybe to make this star a bit larger. But apart from this, for the star reading component, at least we do not require any CSS. So I already recorded YouTube video for this, but there are a few key optimization that we have to add on. So let's just see those as well. So here in the star component, if I reload this component, I'm getting that key prop issue. So let's just fix that using key is equal to IDX. Let's reload this and it should be gone. Yes. So the next thing that we want to add is the feature to clear this particular rating. Right now we can fill the rating and we cannot clear, if we can only fill till this point, but we cannot clear this rating. So what we can do is we can go in the star rating component, have a button below this, and let's just say button, and let's just give the value as clear. One click, handle rating clear. So const handle rating clear. Here we have to say set fill count as 0. If I click on this, the fill count is getting set as 0. So this is working at least. We can rearrange this up and give a class name as rating. And this is the first CSS that we are going to use. Styles, rating, display flex, and yeah, margin right and pixel. Okay, this will be applied to entire stuff. You have to give star rating, and the button you have to give margin left as 10 pixels. Yeah, so this gives the button right here. We can play around with the styles of this, and whatever you want to style, you can style the button. For now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. The last optimization that we have to do is add use callback. Okay, before that, we also want to add, whenever we do on click, we also want to notify the parent component that we are doing this. So we have to create a prop called as on click, and we have to support this on click in the targeting props. Okay, and whenever we click on this, we want to notify the parent about the change. Yeah, so that way, if we go back to the star rating and we perform an on click ADX, we can do console.log ADX. Yeah, I'm missing something. Okay, yeah, the arrow is missing. This is fine. You just click on this. It's saying 7, 10, 1, yeah, 10, 9, 11. Yeah, so this is working fine. And one more thing that we want to add is the callback function. We have to do the use callback. Already imported that up. Use callback, empty, use callback. This is an optional step. You can do it and you can totally avoid. It's up to you. So here in dependence, you have to use on click. And, this is just a very optional thing because it is not going to matter that much. That this optimization is not going to matter that much. Okay. So one more thing that we can do is implement the accessibility feature, ARIA label. We can say star count is value out of count. So the ARIA label is set. What else can we do? We can do on key down, and when we press on key down, we can perform an update here as well. Event e.t is equal to enter. Then we want to perform this handle star click, the same action. Handle star click, and here we can do IDX +1. And we also have to give a tab index as 0. So yeah, this is working. I'm pressing enter. It is filling up the state. But this box is there on the tab index. So it's up to you that if you want to have this as well. Okay, having a tab index is fine, but we also want to actually have no styles on the tab index, so that you might need to figure it out. Okay, so for this, these are the accessibility thing that you might want to add on this. And that is it for the video, I guess. So see you guys in the next, where we'll be coding something else, probably a timer or a stopwatch.